All right. This is I'm filming with my laptop, which I've never done before, but I've been wanting to try it because supposedly I'm doing a live in a few days, and why not? But also, this allows me to do something that I've kind of been wanting to do, which is when I do my cards reading. I'm talking kind of quietly because it's like 2 in the morning. I couldn't sleep, but I have all this energy going through me, and it seems like a perfect time to do a reading. And I also forgot to do the reading for November, so I'm going to do it now. And yeah, sort it out tomorrow and put it up, I guess. So, but my idea was that I would do this reading and look at the energy coming up for November. But as people have asked me to show as I do the reading on the cards, so I thought, why don't I do it? Because I can do it with the laptop. I can just aim it down and show you as I do it. And this is going to be kind of a, I don't know, maybe a boring video or something because it's going to have quiet moments, but I'm not going to edit it at all. Just put it up and trying to get more pure energy into the videos as it is. I'm in Trieste, Italy right now. In some Airbnb and in the kitchen, and yeah, the light's not bad. I'm using basically just the natural. I mean, it's like 2 in the morning, so it's totally dark. But anyway, so I have two decks. I have my old school Rider Waite tarot deck, which I've used for all of my tarot readings. But then recently, I received in the mail from Steve Aylett the Aylett tarot. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I need to watch that video. The interview, I interviewed him last year, and I'm pretty sure it's Aylett, not Eyelet. But I kept saying Eyelet, so I messed up my own memory. But yeah, he mailed me this new deck that he recently released. I'm gonna do a reading for November with not just the Rider Waite. I'll do one with the Rider Waite, but then I'll do one with the Aylett tarot. And I've used this a little, and I think it takes a while to get used to a tarot deck because every tarot deck has its own personality, and you have to kind of discover. So I'm still kind of learning this one and its personality, which is definitely Steve Aylett. I don't know who did the art. I'm curious. I need to ask Steve Aylett who did the art. Maybe he did the art. It's pretty cool art though. I like it. There's a lot of neat cards. So every card has art, and some of the cards are traditional tarot cards, but most of them are not. Most of them, well, there are like the sun. That's you'll find that in most standard tarot decks. And then on the top, there's a quotation from Steve Aylett's many books and stories. For example, on this one with the sun, the quotation is, "Nature is not murdered without a consequent haunting." it's, it's got a very I don't know, kind of dystopian feel to this whole card. But I love the coloring and the art. So yeah, I'd really like to know who did the art. But okay, so first I'm gonna look. But I have to say though, I wouldn't. I'm gonna look at the energy with this one, but I'm gonna kind of start with my standard deck because that seems to be the deck that I'm more familiar with, and I kind of know how to deal with it. And I mean, I've worked with this card deck for I don't know well over a decade at least. And yeah, so anyways, so I'm gonna look first at November energy. Sometimes I do the readings. I just like kind of shuffle it, and we'll draw a card will jump out. But in this case, I'm gonna do more of like a. I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of feel the energy, and I usually feel like a tingling. So I'm closing my eyes and just kind of feel the energy. I think I'd like to do this in the future live, but right now I'm just going to record it and then put it up tomorrow and see what comes of it. But yeah, Sunday, the 23rd, I think 9 p.m. Trieste time, I'll be doing a live. I don't think anyone's going to show up, and that's fine, but I'm just going to record it and look at the energy for all the signs of the zodiac. So So nothing, I don't feel anything particularly strong yet. What happens, I'll feel the difference between two cards. I can feel a very different feeling. Yeah, right here. So the November energy, I'm saying, oh wow, the devil. Okay. And let's take a look. I'm going to keep this in mind. Let's see. I'm going to work with that and the Steve Aylett tarot. I think with his, I'm going to kind of this is the other way that I will sometimes do a reading. I'll just kind of shuffle them until a card jumps out. And I have to kind of feel like it's a nice clean jump. That, like I said, with this deck, I'm still getting used to it. So I'll talk in a minute about the devil and what that portends with November. Okay, I felt like that was a clean jump. So I'm seeing, and again, this is the first time I've ever seen this card in this deck. The card that came up it's called the Puppet. The Puppet. Take a look at that, and you can see the quote: "The book throne." Wait, no. The hook throne of approval. The hook throne of approvable. So I like I said, this deck is very new to me, and I'm kind of enjoying the newness of it all. So before this, if I just had the devil, what the devil usually means is just kind of a jump into the most, the most. I need to find a way to put this up so I don't have to hold it. A jump into the most pure, absorbed with individual ego that a person can have, like as far away from spiritual connection and larger spiritual identity. So it's the most me, my personal wants, needs, desires, and so on. That's what the devil's about. And in terms of the November energy of the world, that means that the world is going in that direction, away from spiritual unity towards the individuals and their needs and desires and the chains that come with that. That's a key thing with the imagery here, is that there's this chain that you think that you're vying for your own personal freedom and energy, but you're actually ensnaring yourself further into the chains of existence and the putting yourself on the wheel of karma. So anyways, that's that. But in terms of the puppet, and again, the great thing about the tarot is like you kind of respond to the images, the ideas that come with it, and work with that and see where it goes, where it takes you. Sometimes it seems, like I've worked with these cards so long that I know what the devil means to me personally and how it interacts in my life and what it looks like in the real world. But the puppet, I don't know. I don't know what that means at this point, but you got to play with it and see where it goes. So with the puppet, I'm looking at the imagery. It looks like there's like some kind of royal figure, like a king, but he's like a corpse. And interesting to think about this in light of the current situation in the UK. Liz Truss stepping down, and they're seeking, their next prime minister. So that's interesting that this came up in that terms, because that is something that is very specific to one country, but that affects all of Europe, that affects the entire world. And that is something that is not, especially also connecting to the Queen's death within the last few months. I don't remember when that was exactly, but when was that? Early September? Yeah, I think about September something. So, anyways, yeah, I feel like this is kind of this stateless, not stateless, but this feeling in the UK of lacking any kind of leadership that anyone respects or cares about, or this feeling of kind of wandering feeling. I think that's what I see with the puppet is this feeling of a puppet is there's a hand inside, but the puppet is not a real person. There's this hand. So who's operating the UK? Who's operating the larger forces of the world? That's like this kind of feeling that nobody's in control. That it's just like nobody's at the wheel of this car. And when that happens, people, when they feel that the world is collapsing or things are falling apart, there's wars and so on. When they feel that, there are always wars and there's always that situation. But when a large enough number of people feel that, that's when the devil comes to play, because there's like, what do we got to lose? Just live wildly and like live while you can, and then we're all going to be dead soon anyways. So that's I'm not saying that's a good attitude to have, but I'm saying that when enough people have that attitude, it does affect the entire field of how people react and behave to one another. So it's not going to linger forever, but expect the devil to be coming up. Expect people to be living more selfishly in November, and you don't have to succumb to that. You can always, I don't know. You can interact with that how you will. I don't. I'm a very, I don't know. I'm just, I'm enjoying this moment of recording this, not live, but not edited. So, yeah, this is an interesting format. I yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting direction for this channel to have more interaction. So basically, on Sunday, the 23rd, show up if you want, if you're watching this, because it'll be a very easy opportunity to interact with me. Ask me any questions. I'll do tarot readings using either deck, and about any questions you want me to address about horoscopes or about world events or about personal issues, whatever. I'm going to stay on, I don't know, probably at least half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, I don't know, whatever. And as long as people are interested, my guess is less than 5 people will show up, if that. And I'm fine with that, because then I'll just do the readings and leave. But I think this is, though, a future direction that I see as more interesting for this channel. So I'm going to see where it goes, and I hope you're there. But if you're not, I'll do it again next month, or I don't know. I'd love to do it every week, but I'm going to build slowly and see where this goes. So anyways, consider the devil and the puppet and how these two interact, because any two images or ideas can be put together. And maybe with the puppet, ask yourself, are you the puppet or are you the puppeteer? And do you want to be the puppet or the puppeteer? Also, I noticed in the background of this image, it looks like there's like cabbages or something growing. So I think this reminds me that even when in these more hollow corpse-like moments of skeletal existence in which ghostly we chime along through the year, there's also this growth in the background, this life, and these things that can be, food and sustenance for future months. So the year's not over yet, and a lot more is going to happen. So anyways, I'm done for now. Good night.